All right, so if you're having a problem going on in your life right now and you want help from Bert Show fam, hit us up at thebertshow.com. In this case here, she really needs your help because her dad is refusing to walk her down the aisle with her stepdad.
Yeah, we have to give a trigger warning here because of child abuse. So we want to give you that heads up and give you that trigger warning. Hi, Bert Show. I just don't know what to do. Backstory. When I was a baby, not even 6 months old, my dad popped me and left me black and blue. He went to prison for his abuse to me, my two brothers, and my mother. While in prison, my mom met my stepdad, who has been there through it all. My dad has been out of prison for over 10 years now and has been living with my grandmother, his mom. No car, no job, nothing to his name. My relationship with my grandmother is extremely important. My dad was not there at the daddy-daughter dances. He hasn't had a job since he got out. He's worked with buddies a few weeks here and there, but nothing consistent. My grandmother has been ill for over 5 years now, and there isn't enough for him. And that isn't enough for him to get a job, but it's enough for him to continuously fight for government assistance. Present day. I got engaged in January. Congrats. We'll be getting married this September, rushing because both of our grandmother's health. My plan was to ask both my dad and stepdad to walk me down the aisle. Nope. My dad called me out of the blue and said, well, you're in a dilemma. I explained what my plan was, and his response without any hesitation was no. No emotion behind it, just a hard no. He goes on to explain his reasoning. Your stepdad hurt my feelings and took you all away from me. My mindset. Oh, excuse the HE double hockey sticks out of me? Feelings hurt? Whose feelings? I sent him a very long and detailed message as to how I felt about his response. I had never done that before. I explained to him that it hurt me, that he couldn't put his feelings aside the only time I asked for him to do it for me. His response? Horse ass. Mm-hmm. I asked my stepdad if he would walk me down the aisle with my dad. His response? Absolutely. I'd be happy to, with or without your dad. That's simple. Why couldn't my dad do that? He hurt me. He has repeatedly let me and my brothers down, yet we still say, I love you, Dad. I'm hurt, y'all, but not because of him anymore. I'm disappointed in him, but that's nothing new. However, my grandmother is my concern. She has 3 different illnesses that are not curable. Everything has been piled on top of her, and the last thing I ever wanted to do was make it worse. She's my rock. And besides my kid, she has been my home my entire life. Now, it's changed a lot. She's tried to explain things from my dad's point of view, and neither her or him are budging. She wants me to come around, but how am I supposed to be around him? I know that I will keep the peace, but my dad? He has gone off and almost gotten physical with my oldest brother and my cousin, both times putting my grandmother in the hospital. She's begging me to come see them. She's crying for my brothers and I, but we're all concerned. I don't even know how to be around her anymore with having the whole thing brought up, and it's extremely emotional. The advice that I'm asking for is what to do. How do I handle this? I told my dad that I don't want him at my wedding after he said my feelings were horse ass. That hasn't changed anything. I'm worried that I've ruined my relationship with my grandmother. I can't imagine my life without her, and with her health being this bad, I'm worried that I don't have the time to make it up to her. I'm worried and broken over this. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
All right, so we're looking for somebody very specific here that has walked down the aisle without their father and did it with a stepdad. Looking back at it, are you happy you did it? You stayed true to yourself? Do you wish you would have done both somehow? I don't know, compromised in some way, shape, or form. 1-855-BERT Show. Before we even start this conversation, we are not allowed to use the phrase, that's your day, do what you want. Okay?
Obviously, it's not.
It's not.
It's not the bride and groom's day. It's everybody else's day but yours, because everybody else gets their wishes, not you.
Bert's finally putting his foot down.
That's it.
This. Now that he's dealing with it, he's like, no more.
It is not your day. That is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think how she salvaged her relationship with her grandmother, because it's not even about her dad anymore, and it's not even about her stepdad. It's about her grandmother. And I know her grandmother, that's her son. And as a parent, you want to believe the best in your kids, and you're gonna give them more than just a second chance. You're gonna give them a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. But it's so apparent how toxic this man is. You have to stick to your guns and do what you want to do. Not just for you, but for your stepdad. See, I'm involving the other person in the wedding, not just her. But it's gonna affect your relationship with your grandmother, and that's unfortunate, but that's just how it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, it is what it is with grandma. I don't really think there's much you can do. It's out of your control. You know, but this man, I wouldn't even care at all whether he came to my wedding or not, whether he was there or not. He is extremely toxic, and that man is not your dad. He's your father. There's a difference. Your dad is your stepdad, and that should be the only thing that matters in that situation.
Yeah, that hits close to home with you. Hey, Rebecca, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm actually was in a similar situation. My mom had asked that I bring my father to my wedding. Same with my sister. He left during the father-daughter dance of both of our weddings because we chose not to walk to dance with him, and he did not walk us down the aisle. Our stepfather did, who had been with us since we were 3. And I think that she really there's no reason to care about his feelings or if he goes or not. It's not your dad. He has really no life, so it's fine with that. And as far as the grandmother goes, she's the adult. She should really come around.
Yeah, you hope, right? But that's not going to happen.
Old people don't tend to come around.
Yeah, right.
That's not a thing.
Right. I think you got to protect yourself that day and any toxicity that comes along with that day.
The Bert Show.